So this is something I actually haven't seen a lot of people make tutorials on. And I think it's I wanted to throw it out there because I think it's something that's overlooked a lot with the new Creative 2.0 or Unreal Editor for Fortnite. Um, and that's that you can make a custom boss in it. And basically what that means is it's with the guard spawner. It's like when I say custom boss, I mean from similar to Battle Royale, what you'd see, which is like the stronger AI that has the health bar usually drops a powerful weapon, um, and all that. And as much as I'd love to say this is like from scratch, there's a few things you are actually going to need beforehand, which is going to be you're going to need either 2 or 3 pieces of audio in the .wav.ogg, or I believe there's 2 others that are supported by the Unreal Editor in that file format. And on top of that, you're going to need cosmetic IDs for the skin you want to use. So I'll start with explaining why we need the music. So what you're going to need is an audio file that's going to be your boss's idle or patrol music. That's what's going to play when they're not like aggressive towards the player. And you're going to need the boss's aggressive or like when they're fighting the player music. And the third audio piece is completely optional, but it's a death stinger. So basically what that means is when the boss is eliminated, it plays like a sound that lets you know it's dead. It really can be whatever you want. I'm pretty sure we had one Chapter 4 Season 1 with the Ageless Champion. That's what that was. So that's not really necessary. That's just your preference. And next, what we're going to need is the character's cosmetic ID. So what we're going to use is say we want like a long shot to be a boss skin. So you're just going to look up long shot space in Fortnite. You're going to go to the wiki page, and usually down in the trivia area, it should be long shot's ID is CID and then all this. So you're going to need to copy that. And that's where you're basically your cosmetic ID, but you're not done there, unfortunately. So you want to close that out, and you're going to want to go here, and I already have it out, the ID for putting it in, but there's a format you need. It's kind of weird. So what you're going to need /game/Athena/items/cosmetics/characters, and then you're going to copy, or you're going to paste over that CID you copied, and then what you're going to do is you're going to put a dot and you're going to paste it again, and that allows the game to read it in the Unreal Editor. And you're just going to want to take the whole thing and you're going to copy that. And with that out of the way, that's pretty much all of what you need for starters. Before you move into the actual editor. So we'll get to that next. Alright, so unfortunately I had the clip ready for the Unreal Editor, but it sort of got corrupted. So more like it stopped recording too early. But now that we're back, I'm going to explain step by step everything about what you need to do to get the custom guard in the Unreal Editor. So I'm going to start by saying you need the devices you need for this are you need a guard spawner that I have here. You need an audio player, and you need 2 radio devices. As well as that, you're going to need an elimination manager, and that's about it. That's about all you'll need. So what you're going to want to do to make it actually custom guard is I already set it up, but what you're going to do is you're going to set this guard type to a free guard, like any guards you haven't used in your map. Like no guard spawner is going to be selected of this type, except for this one. And then what you're going to do is if it's custom guards you're making, you can set the spawn count to whatever you want. But if it's a boss, you're going to want to set it to 1. And what that basically means is that you're going to have 1 of these on the map at a time. Whereas if you set it to 4, you'd have 4 of these spawn. Like in this little circle, there would be 4 that had spawned all at once. And you want to set it to whatever item you can. And something important to note is that it doesn't matter what items are guard tagged in Creative 1.0. In the Unreal Editor for Fortnite, you can use literally any item you want. And with that, why that matters is you can use, well, like exotics and stuff, but also you can't be careful with melees because they'll usually just default using a pickaxe and won't actually use the melee. That's a bug. I'm not sure if they're going to fix it. So here's the important part, the character cosmetic. So this is already set up, so I'm just going to clear it and show what it would look like for a starter's point of view. It would look exactly like this. So what you're going to do, so when you see this, you're going to want to take this character cosmetic, and that, the ID you just copied, you're going to want to paste that in here, and it will set it to the skin. It's pretty easy. It's important to note that this usually can only work before one round before it says it's a disallowed object. I'm pretty sure that's an issue, otherwise we wouldn't see the setting. But if that changes in the future, it changes in the future. Next, you're going to guard team option. You're going to want to make sure this is set to team index, and you're going to be able to set this to whichever team you have that's free to use the guard on. And this is basically so you can use team settings and inventory devices to customize any abilities you want, like health recharge or extra speed or low grav later on, because you can set it to that team specifically. But I'm not going to cover that today. So you can really do any spawning stuff you want. Starting health and starting shield, and max shield and max shield and max health. You can set those again to whatever you want. Just make sure of each, like for health, make sure the starting and health and max health match. Same with shield, make sure starting shield and max shield match. The shields can be different than the health, but make sure these two are the same. That just makes it so the health bar appears right. And if you have like a health recharge on it, it's not gonna like go over what you want. Next, you're gonna want to make sure show health bar is ticked. It will not start as ticked when you first place the guard spawner. So you're gonna set it to ticked. Enable patrol. Yeah, do that. Patrol path targets. This is something that I will cover in the future if we get it. But right now, custom patrol paths are disabled in the Unreal Editor, whereas they were enabled in Creative 1.0. So you don't really need to worry about that yet. Max patrol distance, this is really how far it can patrol, which is about however much you want it. So I'm actually going to set this to 10 so I can just correspond it to the spawn radius. And that's, yeah, basically 10 meters would be like 10 meters out from the device is how far it can patrol. Visibility range, again, this is basically you decide how overpowered you want your boss to be. So I can make this like 250. That's the max so far. And it'll basically be able to see me from anywhere on the map and snipe me. Team awareness propagation. If this is a boss that has henchmen, this is really good because this means that when the boss is alerted, it will like draw the other AI that can see you to its location because it'll like alert them that you're there. Drop inventory and elimination. You're gonna want to make sure this is unticked because this will make it so that it doesn't and drop the weapon that's in its inventory. It drops the item you want it to drop, which is what we're using the elimination manager for later. Accuracy, you can set this to literally whatever you want. I did very high because the boss I'm using wields a sniper. Like that's what I set up. I set it up so it uses a sniper. And then what you actually want to do is for its name, you're gonna want to set. You're gonna want to tick can be hired. This allows you to access this little thing called the hired guard name. And since this is a long shot, that's just the name I pasted in there. But you can name it whatever you want. And after you've pasted it, you're going to want, or not pasted it, after you've typed out the name you want, you're going to want to untick this. This will make it so that this guard has nothing to do with being hireable, any of that, except in the elimination, like feed, like when someone sees that you're dead, or if you're using like certain like game end sequences, it'll show like who you were eliminated by, and it'll show like long shot if you got eliminated. So that's just so its name shows up properly. And then pretty much all of this is fine. And what's next is you're going to want to make sure that it's hooked up to the speaker. So that's the most important part. That's what you need the 3 audio files for, is these. So this audio player right now is it's for the death stinger. That's what you're going to paste in there. So basically what you're going to want to do is, I already have them out here, but you're going to want to import all of the files you had, the sound files. So I don't have them here anymore, but when you have them, you can select all of them, import them. And what's important is you're going to want to right click on all 3 of them and create a queue using this button. I don't think you have to if you're using an audio player for all 3. That's just beyond me. That's what I'm not that advanced yet. And so you're going to want to, for audio, you're going to want to put the death stinger in for the audio player. Set the volume to literally whatever you want. don't make it visible in game. Most of the settings should still be default. Don't do play on hit. And then when you get down here, this is where it is important. This play, you have to have it play. You have to add the array element. And you have to set it up to whatever you named your guard spawner. So again, it would just be the guard spawner for me. And what it is you have to make it so that on eliminated, it plays this. So it'll play it at this audio player. And then next, you're going to want, this is the attack aggressive music that it has. So you're going to put in whatever aggressive music you have. So I don't know what is. So it's this. So it'd be the hostile. The volume, it's completely up to you what you want the volume to be. That's just like how loud it is on the player's end. And then these will start out, these 5 as ticked off. You want to uncheck all of them because that means this doesn't start playing at the beginning of a match. And it will only play when the guard is alerted to a player. So audio distance, you can limit it if you want. You can do really whatever you want. It's all up to you. Play at location device. Instigator doesn't work when you're dealing with guards in audio. So make sure it just says play at location device. And when you get down here, you're going to want this to play. You want that set to your guard spawner as the device. And the setting you're going to want is on alerted to player. So it will start playing the music when the guard is alerted to the player. Next is for stop. This is when you're going to want the aggressive music to stop playing. And that is going to be on eliminated for the same guard spawner. And that's all you need to know for that device. Now for the other audio player, this is going to be the patrol or idle music. You're going to want to put in, search for the queue for the patrol music that you set up or imported. And you can set it again to whatever volume you want, but you're going to want to make sure this time all 5 of these are ticked. That means it will play when the boss is just not attacking you yet. It'll play at the beginning of a match and all that. It's pretty self-explanatory. You can see what each one thinks, or each one says. Play during waiting for players. It's just play during game countdown, and play during gameplay, play during round end, playing during game end. So you could probably uncheck these 2. They don't make that much sense. And then again, play at location device. It can be heard by everyone. And you get down, and this one you're gonna have the only tags you're gonna have for are stop. So you're gonna want to make sure the devices are both guard spawner. The first stop queue will be on alerted to player, and the second one will be on eliminated. This makes it so the patrol music stops playing either when the guard spots you or when the guard dies. If the guard doesn't spot you before it dies, or in this case it'd be a boss, but you understand. So that's pretty much the music part of it set up. I know I didn't do that from scratch, and if anybody needs help, just ask in the comments. I'll make sure to reply. Next is the elimination manager, which is basically the custom loot you have. Quick for the music, I guess, is what I did was I copy and pasted them around. That just makes it so that where you're fighting the boss is more ambient. Like you can hear it on all sides. It's not like lopsided to one ear because it's playing from the device. Alright, so now onto loot. What you're going to want for this, you're going to want the elimination manager. You can easily just pull it out of here. Same nonsense. So what you're going to do is add to the item list, add whatever weapon you want the boss to drop. And then you're going to want to make sure the weapons pickup quantity is set to 1, and then you can drop the weapon's ammo. And I set this to 12 because that makes the pickup quantity, you set that to 12. That makes it drop 12. I set this heavy ammo because it's the ammo that corresponds. That's 12 heavy ammo it drops when eliminated. And then you're going to make sure the target type starts as all types. You're going to want to set this to whichever guard type you selected. And initial movement of item, you're going to want to make sure that's set to toss. That just makes it so it throws the items out when you eliminate it, just like a player or a normal BR boss would when it dies. Drop chance 100. So pretty much all of this is easy to understand. You can change it if you want. And that's about it. And now I can move on to the final result.